Hello and welcome to official Xbox 360 Magazine's OXM report. Now, this week we're talking to the developers behind Shift 2 Unleashed, the sequel to Need for Speed Shift that aims to put you right in the crash helmet of a professional racing driver.
Cool, so I'm here with Andy Tudor, who's the lead designer on Shift 2 Unleashed. So tell me, what was the feedback you got from the first Shift game?
So overall, the feedback was really good. There were two kind of key areas that people really wanted to see us improve upon and streamline, and those were on authenticity. Authenticity in terms of the drivers, like the rivals in the previous game were all kind of fictional. Now we've got the Team Need for Speed drivers who are out there doing cool stuff in real life, winning championships and working in GT3 and Drift. They're now the rivals in the game, so you have to defeat those guys as bosses to win their cars. And the other thing was variety. People want, we all have different favourites, different types of car that we particularly like, or different game modes. So just allowing those people to really experiment and customise their experience in the game how they want. So some people may really like American muscle cars and may love time attack. So there's something there for those guys. Other guys may really like Japanese tuner cars and drift. So there's something for those guys to play as well. So just get the community feedback, streamline a few things. There's not as many currency systems in the game anymore. Precision versus aggression has now been streamlined into a single unified driver XP that now drives career. So just take on the community feedback and make a better game.
Now, one of the big new features is the helmet cam, which doesn't initially sound that inspiring, but tell me what it means for the game.
Thanks. No, when you say helmet cam, people kind of go, so firstly, what's that? And also, it sounds quite dry, but when you actually play it, I think you'll see that it's actually probably a bigger innovation over the original cockpit view that we innovated and pioneered in Shift 1. If Shift 1's cockpit view is analogous to a first-person shooter, the idea of kind of the G-forces kind of moving your head around and the disorientation effects when you get hit and when you crash, a consequence of pushing the car over the limits, then helmet cam is basically analogous to a flight sim. It's when you approach a corner, your head moves to the corner to give you an indication of the turn. It also banks as well, so your head actually physically moves, and the depth of field changes to kind of make you really focus on that apex. So these are all things that happen in real life and you do naturally when you're racing, but of course we've got to kind of recreate a virtual version of that for people playing with a gamepad.
Obviously, hardcore racing sims are traditionally associated with the PC. I know that's the background of a lot of the slightly mad developers, but do you think there's a growing audience for these kind of extremely hardcore experiences on the console? Absolutely.
I mean, you say hardcore. I mean, we kind of think of it as authentic. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's difficult to get into, it's not very accessible. We've basically put all the stuff in there to allow you to dial the experience to exactly what you want. So you can obviously change the difficulty. We're adding a new elite handling model, which means that it changes a bunch of stuff on the car to give you a more hardcore experience, like you're saying. But then equally, you can turn all the braking assists on. So you can basically dial the experience to whatever you want.
In terms of the auto log, this is something that Need for Speed Hot Pursuit kind of introduced and has been very successful with. What are you adding to that experience?
Yeah, so basically, Autolog is this fantastic system that breeds replayability. You can play the same event again and again to try and beat your time. You can set a time on a Thursday or something like that, and then when I finally get a chance to go onto my console on a Saturday, I can basically play that same event again and again and again to try and beat you. So with Shift 2, we enhance that, so we include that into the Shift 2 career, and we also give you XP for beating your times, which then drives my career further. You can also upload videos and go to your gallery and kind of see what you're doing. You can access Autolog from anywhere in the game just by pressing the back button. And you can see kind of what wall posts you've put up there, what achievements you've earned. You can see a complete list of every single record held in the game. So again, kind of just going deeper with the Autolog experience and implementing the ability to view real-world news from either needforspeed.com or speedhunters.com. So just kind of deepening the experience and making it bespoke for Shift 2.
For all the exclusive details on Shift 2 Unleashed, grab the latest copy of OXM on shop shelves now.